political roadmap 2024 to 2027. 2.
Then the issue of the nomination fee, of course, nomination fee has been raised from 2 million to 3 million for the members of parliament. As you remember, in 2021, nomination was 2 million and now it is 3 million. But of course, some members have also raised issues. They prefer the nomination fee to be raised to almost 5 million so that it reduces the number of people who just want to come for these campaigns. As we are aware, there are many people who, some areas have over 10 aspirants. So we feel that if the nomination fee is raised, then probably it may reduce on the numbers of people coming up for constituency seats, and we have actually serious people only coming up to contest for those areas. So those proposals have been sent, and now we wait for SEC to respond on those issues, and we find a way forward.
Thank you so much.
It has been increased from 2 million to 3 million. I think it's not bad. However, even 3 million is too much. You find some people want to contest but cannot afford the 3 million. Find someone with good ideas but has no capacity to pay that 3 million. In my thinking, it would be even reduced to 1 million so that people can participate.
Thank you so much,
Okay.
Interest fee for all categories, starting with the presidency downwards. When we meet in the press conference by the Secretary General, we shall give you all that detail, because this is not my area, this is not my premise. I am a visitor in this house. I thank you. The visitor should not leave the sitting room to the kitchen.
There are two questions that I am going.
We think that structural elections will start on April 24th with a call for expression of interest. The call for expression of interest will go up to 30th April. Once we finish, we shall then have elections of the structure on May the 6th. The structure is the foundation of the party. The NRM party is a mass line party. And all that should be is that the members at the lowest, the village level, or the cell, or the branch, are the members who are the most important. The most important does not mean you disregard others, but this party relies on the last person at the village, and that is the election we are going to start with. Once you have a strong base of members, the 30 per village, times the 72,000 villages, you have about 2.5 million leaders of NRM in the country based at the village. To uproot such a party is not so easy. It has the largest canopy of leaders in Africa. If you make on the trajectory, that is the party which owns the country, because it owns the country by having leaders at every level, but the first level is in the 72,000 villages. So that is structure will start on, that election will start on 6th, and it will continue up to the district. We shall give you the details in the roadmap. We shall have parish. At the village election will be based on a college system. Members of the village come up to elect the mainstream, which are the 5, that is chairperson, vice chairperson, secretary, treasury, publicity, up to that, the 5. And then elect the committee members. Those total to 30. Now, when we come up with leaders of institutions within those villages, at times it comes to 35. That election starts on May the 6th. After that, then we go to the parish. When we go to the parish, it is now a family election of NRM members, closed up in a college. You are not a member of the village, you didn't start the structure at the village, you cannot enter at the parish. It is like an assembly of hens. Hens can have cocks and hens for eggs. Ducks cannot enter because their configuration is different. So after that, we go to the sub-county. So the 30 elected at parish level within a sub-county now move as a college into the sub-county. And when the sub-county elect, they move into the district. That will happen in the whole country, and it will take us exactly 3 to 4 weeks. By the time we reach the district is when we allow entry, because there are workers coming, because workers are not there at the village or the parish. That's when entrepreneurs come in. That's when even other national leaders come in. The joining now is after the sieving, and at district level, the bulk here from village, parish, and sub-county can tell that you entering at the district is our member and we know you. So at the district is when we shall allow entry of higher level politicians who want to compete for other positions. That election will then take us to delegates who will form the assembly, which we call the Nambole Assembly, part of them. The next election will be for members of parliament. Members of parliament election will take place before election of LOC 3 and LOC 5 chairpersons and councillors, so that we have a trajectory. The one for members of parliament, expression of interest, will be June 2nd to June 15th. You must come in with your papers and you move on. And of course, nomination will take place, and election of members of parliament we expect to take place July 16th. And after that, we shall have other elections for LOC 5, July 24th. Then we shall continue with LOC 3, 22nd August. What am I saying in brief? The NRM roadmap is a detailed document concerning election of the categories I've stated, and also the special interest groups at different levels. Because we tend to elect special interest group for the older persons, for the PWDs, the people with disabilities, for the youth. And all this election leads us to a big population at the National Delegates Conference, where we shall again elect national leaders for the party, the SEC, and also members like the youth MPs, the MPs for people with disabilities, MP of the elders. So it is a detailed election, and NRM Electoral Commission has now started that journey. That then shows, then what about the issue of joint campaign? The issue of joint campaigns in NRM as a party is
posed why today's NRM Parliamentary Caucus meeting was chaired by the Vice President, and also we kind of unpacked on the tips on wealth creation. Both under the NRM Constitution and the NRM Parliamentary Caucus Rules of Procedure, the chairperson of the NRM Parliamentary Caucus is the government chief whip. And today's meeting, for all intent and purposes, was constitutionally and under our rules of procedure chaired by the government chief whip in principle. Our Excellency the Vice President represented His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda. And you all know that His Excellency the President is the national chairperson of NRM. But in today's meeting, the Vice President represented the President of the Republic of Uganda. That settles that question. On the tips on wealth creation,
fee ababaka abayinarema bagenda kuyimirirawo bajja kuba basasula milioni 3 nga kuluno mujukira tamu yaggwa 2021 twasasula milioni 2 kuluno yabadde milioni 3. Of course ababaka abamu badde bagamba nti no okendeeza abantu bangi okuyimirira NRM Secretariat yandiyongeza nomination fee etukenga milioni 5. Says that omuntu asooka ne yeepima okulaba sente ezo zagenda okwonoona mu kifo ky'okumalaga abantu bangi okuyimirira. So ebintu ebikulu betubaddeko, so tusuubira nti no ensonga ezo wetugitwala seekeddemu ebitunule. Of course wali ekirala ekimu ekya voters registration. Voter registration ekyo nakyo bakyogeddeko, n'ababaka tebanaba babulira ekituufu nti no bagenda okukola okutia verification mu kiseera kya kulonda. Abantu nga bayimiridde kati bayimiridde mabega wa mubaka waabwe bagenda ku verifyingibwa batya ntino bano bali mu NRM oba mu NRM register n'ekyo ensonga tebakirese mu bulungi so ebintu ng'ebyo tujja kulinda seeka etuddemu tulabe nga bwe bigenda bye bivuddewo.
Just a summary.